They won't, will they? They won't. I mean, not now. Will they? No, they won't. Will they? Did they? Why won't they? They will, won't they? NXT graded. We start cold with that phenomenal entrance by Karrion Kross and Scarlett. This is a great idea to pull people in who are channel hopping. Literally, the first thing that you see is just smoke around an empty ring. Beautiful lady walking down the ramp. This monster of a man stood in the ring as the red lights are flashing. If you're a passive wrestling fan, maybe looking for your fix of Walker Texas Ranger, you're going to see that and go, oh, I'll watch this for a bit. Karrion Kross batters Liam Gray with a couple of big release suplexes and the Kross jacket. As Kross and Scarlett are celebrating, out comes Tommaso Ciampa, who talks about the aura of Karrion Kross. Scarlett holds the rope to let Ciampa into the ring. Ciampa goes face to face with Kross and tells him, take over in your house. They're going one-on-one and ends by saying, welcome to the main event, before taking his leave. Scarlett is delighted by this. Kross just looks angry. It's kind of his default. This is an A, easy A. Great entrance. The match didn't need to be anything more than just Kross destroying Liam Gray, leaving him as a fine powder. And then we get Ciampa putting over Kross with his words. Kross putting over Kross without saying anything. Brilliant. Really love this opener. Lucha Libre versus Puro Resu now. It's El Hijo del Fantasma versus Akira Tozawa in the Cruiserweight Championship tournament. Knuckle lock to start on this for ages until we swap it for a series of hard strikes, and then Tozawa takes the lead with a diving Rana off the apron, then the apron cutter. Tozawa finally feels the force of Fantasma with a standing frog splash on the apron from Fantasma. That looked really cool. They go back and forth, hit some really beautiful spots. These guys mesh so well. The end comes when, despite his best efforts to fight out of it, Fantasma hits a phantom driver onto Tozawa for the 1-2-3, and Fantasma punches his ticket to the finals of the tournament. Giving this one a B. Excellent match between these guys. I've really enjoyed the significance that has been given to this tournament. Like, everybody is going out there with desire to win, one more than others, who we'll get to a bit later in the show. We then get 90 seconds that makes Shotzi Blackheart. She is standing on her tank, her favourite tank, the Dirty Blonde, and she says, I'm a bit like a tank, because tanks don't give a fill in the blank or we'll get demonetized. Shotzi talks about her upbringing. She was raised by her dad. She was in a punk rock band, and she talks about her love of tanks. She says she's going to now show us what she's going to do to the NXT women's division. She proceeds to drive her tank over a car, and while she's doing so, she's just cutting mini promos on everybody. Oh, that sounds like Dakota Kai. Raquel Gonzalez, eat my tank. Candice LeRae, oh, think I squashed a pixie. She warns the women's division, if you get in my way, prepare to be crushed. This is an A. This is an A. It is wonderful to watch somebody so comfortable in their own skin doing something like this. You could tell that this is the promo that has been in the guts of Shotzi Blackheart for ages. It was bombastic, it was over the top, it was filled with beautiful one-liners throughout. I felt like this is Shotzi well and truly in her element, and if I'd have seen this promo before seeing Shotzi Blackheart make her debut, I'd have been calling for her to become NXT Women's Champion. I'm sad that it's taken us this long to get to this promo, but the most important thing is it's here now. I loved it. This stood out from everything else on the show tonight. Top marks, it's an A. Mia Yim takes on Santana Garrett. Santana Garrett's wearing a hat now, so that's good. Yim wins quickly with Eat Defeat. After this, the Garganos come out. They're mocking Mia Yim. Johnny's even singing Mia Yim's theme music at one point, and they say they're going to show Mia Yim what they do to people in their NXT who get opportunities they don't deserve. They rush the ring. We see Mia Yim knock Gargano off the apron. She gets into it with Candice LeRae. Gargano pulls the rope down, so Yim falls out of the ring, and at this point, Keith Lee's had enough, Out he comes, and together Yim and Keith charge the ring and chase the Garganos away. C+ for this segment. It was very, very good. The bit after the match was very nothing, which brought the grade down. But Gargano, as obnoxious cheerleader for his wife, it's a strong look. I'm here for it. It's always nice to see Keith. We are heading towards something between the Garganos and Keith and Mia Yim at TakeOver. Keith says as much a bit later on. Grimes is shown celebrating his win over former Universal Champion Finn Balor, and then we cut to an interview with Drake Maverick. He says he's tired of feeling sorry for himself. He's tired of getting pep talks and TED talks. He's just going to go out and do it tonight. He has to go out and win. And I'm for this. Drake Maverick has just been such a figure in this tournament. And he said he's got 3 matches left. Back the other month, he said, I've got 3 matches left. This is his 3rd match. Will they? Will they? Will they? Won't they? We'll see. Roderick Strong faces Dexter Lumis now. Roderick Strong spends a lot of this match trying to figure out Dexter Lumis, who just isn't reacting to anything that Strong is saying or doing for a long time. That is, until he gets backdropped on the apron and Strong takes control. This is a slow and steady affair. We see Dexter Lumis keep fighting back into it and Strong keeps fighting back down. At one point, Lumis is on his knees and he takes a chop from Roderick Strong. You see him rub his chest and ask for more. It's a very peculiar spot, which I quite enjoyed. Lumis fires up and hits a spine buster, but Strong comes back. He goes with a stronghold. He tried this once in the match, and Lumis pushed away from it. So instead of going for the stronghold submission, he leans forward and gets a pin on, and out of nowhere gets the 1-2-3 on Dexter Lumis. Afterwards, Strong rolls out of the ring, celebrating his win. We see Dexter Lumis suddenly reappear, leaning through the ropes and locking in the Katagutame. This ends up being on the floor. The Undisputed Era are out and they're punching and kicking Dexter to try and break the hold, but it ain't happening. Here comes Velveteen Dream for the rescue, sends Cole and Fish packing, does this beauty of a dive from the top rope over the barricade to the floor onto Adam Cole. The closing shot of this segment we get is a Velveteen Dream sort of propping himself up against the steps. Dexter Lumis still with the Katagutame locked in on Strong, now stroking Strong's hair with a bit of blood running down his face. It was an arresting visual. Given this a B-, I wasn't ready to see Lumis in a long form match yet, nor was I ready to see Lumis lose, despite the fact that he got his heat back afterwards. But be that as it may, I thought it was good. I thought these guys had some good stuff together. I think the bit at the end with him locking in that submission hold and not letting go was a really cool bit. Velveteen Dream getting amongst it. We've got this wonderful odd couple now fighting the Undisputed Era, which I'm all about. During the break, Phantasma and Tozawa have a little moment in the car park, and Tozawa says, you go and win that tournament. They're friends despite their match earlier on. Then the masked men appear and jump Tozawa. Phantasma chases them off, and away they go. And we end with Phantasma checking on Tozawa, who just got battered by these mystery men. I presume they were going to take him to Monday Night Raw to job to Lashley. I'm intrigued to see where we go with this masked men story. So for a couple of weeks, as we know, they've been trying to kidnap Phantasma. Whether or not we see this peak at In Your House, we've obviously got Phantasma in the Cruiserweight Championship tournament still. Whether they get amongst it with that, I guess we'll wait and see. Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan fight Everrise now. Byron Saxton puts it best by saying, does Everrise owe them money? Because they take a shoe-in in this one. Quick battering by Lorcan and Burch ends with Lorcan giving the half crab and Burch giving the crossface. Submissions all round. Afterwards, they do the Imperium pose. So we may have a tag team title match between Imperium and the Britam Brawlers to look forward to down the line. C+, not much to this, just a nice short shot battering from the Britam Brawlers. If they're going to have a title match for the NXT tag belts, can we have it at an NXT UK takeover? Just because I feel like it will get like half an hour and it will just be 5 stars. Earlier on tonight, Timothy Thatcher said he wants another match with Matt Riddle. A match that can only be won by either tap out or knockout. Matt Riddle, referring to Trashyton as not a stallion, accepts the challenge and decides the match should happen in a cage. Ooh. Speak to Dana White. I hear he's got a setup on an island that's free. The Interim Cruiserweight Championship tournament rolls on. It's Drake Maverick and Kushida now. This match is pretty much all Kushida. Despite a few flurries from Drake Maverick, Kushida wears down Maverick throughout all this, wearing his arm down more than anything else. Like the combinations of arm locks and arm breakers, it's like a dictionary of them, if such a thing existed. During the match, Jake Atlas comes down. He's scouting the competition for the finals of the tournament, presumably, or he's cheering on Drake Maverick, or he's cheering on Kushida, but either way, he's out there. And Drake Maverick just won't give up. There's a point where the referee is thinking about stopping the match, it seems, and Drake is pleading with the ref to not stop the match. Drake gets a flurry in this one near the end. As they're fighting on the top rope, he goes for a bulldog off the top that Kushida turns into an armbar, locks it in nice and tight. Drake Maverick leans forward, gets the pin out of nowhere, 1, 2, 3, earns himself a point in the tournament. Absolutely stunning. After the match, we see Jake Atlas, Kushida, and Drake Maverick in the ring. Byron Saxton addresses the elephant in the room because they're all on the same points in their group. There's going to be a triple threat match next week with the winner going on to the tournament final. And that is where we leave things for the Cruiserweight tournament this week. This was an A-. Kushida's brilliant. Just a phenomenal performer. Drake Maverick was sensational here. There hasn't been a guy like Drake in a while who can just emote that much sympathy. As I say, I'm gutted that there's no live crowd seeing this because I think it would make him the biggest star in NXT right now if there was. And he's just so good at selling these moments as like absolute desperation. Are they gonna get rid of him? This whole thing has been born out of Drake Maverick getting released last month, and they still talk about it. Are they getting rid of him? Is he going? Are they? But surely now he's mega popular. Surely now we all love him. They won't. Will they? Would they? I mean, could they? He'll just take that momentum somewhere else if he does. Will they? I don't know. I hope not. Love you, Drake. After Damian Priest throws down a challenge to Finn Balor for TakeOver, it is time for our main event. Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley going one-on-one. This is just an intense grudge match with these guys. Ripley's in a foul mood. She's shouting at the referee to ring the bell at the start of the match. She keeps barking at Io, barking at the ref, and she's just overpowering Shirai on multiple occasions. There's a simple but effective spot where she's headbutting the bejesus out of Io Shirai on the top rope and then just lobs her across with a superplex. Shirai keeps coming back in this match. She hits a Tiger Feint kick and a drop kick, follows it up with a dive to the outside of the ring, and this brings out Charlotte Flair just to watch apparently, but she gets a little bit too close to the action because Shirai hits a head scissors that sends Ripley crashing into the champ. Meanwhile, moments later, the fight goes back into the ring and Shirai is finally taking over on Rhea Ripley. Charlotte Flair's come back too at this point. She gets in the ring and boots the face off of Io Shirai, and the ref calls for the DQ, or the match to be thrown out rather, because moments later Charlotte Flair then spears Rhea Ripley too. NXT ends this week with Charlotte Flair standing over Ripley and Shirai holding up her NXT Championship. Given the main event a B, these guys worked really hard. It was a very different kind of match to other things we've seen tonight. It felt like a grudge match. People are upset that Charlotte Flair is seemingly holding down the younger ones. Let's not lose sight of the fact that Charlotte Flair is meant to be an arsehole, and she's brilliant at being an arsehole. So when she gets her comeuppance, we'll be like, yes, the arsehole got her comeuppance. Wrestling. Overall this week, NXT is a B for me. I thought this was, in my opinion, a marked improvement on Raw on Monday. I felt there was a better mixture of bits and matches. The matches were a bit fuller in some cases, not all, but there was enough in there to intrigue me for next week. A cage match against Riddle and Thatcher next week. The triple threat, it could be Drake Maverick's last stand next week on NXT. Lots of good stuff to work towards as we get closer to In Your House in June. Good show, everybody. Have a lovely Thursday. Love you. Bye.